Hi and welcome. Welcome to the online show, Destined for More. We're happy to have you here. Today, we are bringing you a guest expert, and I can't wait for you to hear from her. I'll introduce her in a second. But each time that we bring you a guest expert, it's a chance for you to learn and learn from their expertise so that you can make improvements in your life. So, this show is for midlife women in business, and we help in all aspects of life because our life always ripple effects into our business. If you're new to me, hi, my name is Wesley Reese. I'm a success coach, healer, and spiritual mentor for midlife women in business. Women typically hire me when they have a strategy that works, but they're not really getting the results that they want, and they've done the traditional mindset work, and they're finding it's just taking a long time, and it's becoming an arduous process. And so my mission is really to help women transform their lives, empowering them to let go of the stories that are holding them back and playing small so that they can step into their greatness unapologetically. This week, we have the beautiful Heather Dumas, and she is the founder of HD Transformations. She's a healthy lifestyle strategist. She's passionate about helping executive and professional women who feel powerless and disconnected from their bodies to help them reclaim their power by understanding their bodies and implementing simple lifestyle changes so that they can look and feel like the badasses that they are. For over 12 years, she's been inspiring women through the world of fitness and nutrition. She's been featured on podcasts and stages around the world and is the #1 best-selling author of 4 cookbooks as well as a keynote speaker. She offers a simple, easy to execute model for creating and sustaining a healthy lifestyle without sacrificing career success or relationships. When she isn't spreading her message of self-care without sacrifice, she's enjoying the Utah mountains and the greatest snow on earth with her family. So, welcome, Heather. We're happy to have you here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Today, I can't wait for this conversation and for you to share your genius with our viewers that are watching. And today we're talking about how to find 5 extra hours in your week to make yourself a priority. And I love this message because I believe that, there's a lot of things that get in our way, and we can easily let our health fall off the plate. And so
Yes.
this is really a public service announcement.
Yes. Well, this time of year especially, we pick up even more balls to juggle than we are already juggling. So, but I kind of hesitate to go that way because for me, it's my year's always busy. It doesn't get any busier this time of year than it is always busy, but I think other people it does. So, yeah, it's really important that you take care of yourself while you're taking care of everyone else so that you can take care of everyone else. So.
Absolutely. So let's just define self-care.
Mm.
And let's start there, and so that we can really, come from that place of understanding and be on the same page. So how do you define self-care?
It is a whole lot more than good hygiene. Self-care is what makes you feel good. It is what makes you go, and maybe that's a bubble bath, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's going for a hike. Maybe it's, drinking your coffee in peace. That's for me. Number one is I need to be left alone to drink my coffee in the morning. Self-care has kind of gotten beaten up, that term. It's been tossed around a lot lately. And it's often paired with manicures, pedicures, bubble baths. But self-care in my world is everything from exercise to eating well to cooking a healthy meal if that's what makes you happy, or not cooking if that's what makes you happy, or like I said, going for a hike, going for a walk, anything that if you had an hour to do whatever you wanted and it didn't matter what it was, nothing, no money, no time constraints, what would you do? For me, it would be sit in silence and enjoy a cup of coffee, or go to the gym and get a really good workout. Other people, it's read a book. So self-care is just what fills your cup.
Nice. I love that. And I always say, you can't give away what you don't have.
Right. Right.
And I know about 10 years ago, I was on this journey to figure out work-life balance. Well, I figured out it doesn't exist, by the way. But
It
anyways,
doesn't.
um, different topic for a different day. But it was because of this. It was because when your priorities are out of whack, how can you take back that ownership? And so let's talk about that. When let me first ask you, when someone comes to you, when a potential client comes to you, what are they typically saying?
Well, I mean, they want to lose weight usually. But not for the reasons that we often see advertised, right? They don't really care what they look like in a swimsuit. I mean, sure, it'd be great if they look good in a swimsuit, but they're really wanting to get control over their bodies because they feel like they don't know them anymore. They feel like they're living in this foreign place where, what they have done in the past is not working. They're feeling extra tired, extra frustrated, extra stressed out, obviously extra fat in different places. Maybe they have never had it before. And just really overwhelmed by the idea of, okay, now I got to revamp all of this. And I'm already juggling all of these balls. I'm already taking care of family. I'm already juggling my career. I'm already volunteering here and there and everywhere. And where, I know I should take care of myself. I know I should exercise, but there's no time in the day for that. So they really come to me just saying, help, help me. How do I make this work? So yeah.
Nice. So what do you typically take someone through, like first step? What's the first thing that you do so that they can start to find the time to make themselves a priority?
We go through their calendars, and I say calendars plural because we all have multiple calendars. I know I have about 7 Google calendars on my phone right now. And we look at where they're spending their time versus where they want to be spending their time. Oftentimes people say, well, family is my number one priority, or my health is my number one priority, but their actions are not reflective of that. They're doing everything except for family stuff, or they're doing everything except for exercise or eating well or whatever. So we go through their priorities and reorganize them and make sure that, okay, if family really is your number one, let's make it number one. If your health really is number one, let's make it number one. And I always say self-care without sacrifice, because I don't believe that you need to sacrifice time from your family or success in your career in order to take care of yourself. But you may have to sacrifice some time with your Netflix. You may have to sacrifice some of your favorite beverages. There's different things, different ways of sacrificing, but the important stuff you don't have to sacrifice. You just have to be very intentional with your calendar, intentional with where you spend your time, and using every pocket of the day, whether it's waiting in a waiting room, if you have a doctor's appointment or something, or sitting in the carpool line, or, there's lots of places where we have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes somewhere. And when you're not intentional about it, you start scrolling, right? And if you're scrolling with intention, right? If for those of us that run a business, we need to interact with people online and that kind of thing. So that's one thing, but I'm talking about the mindless scrolling. Instead of doing that, you fill that time with something that's on your to-do list. So you don't have that hanging over your head anymore.
And yeah, I so agree. It's like the to-do list. Actually, I'm against a to-do list just because it never ends. But it's when we have those pockets of time, it's easy to just start doing those mindless things, yes, but also just fill in those pockets with stuff that just needs to get done, but just because you want to check it off the to-do list. Uh,
Mhm. But it
and
may not be the most important thing. Yeah.
exactly, it may
Mhm.
not be the most important thing. And you know what? A mentor, like a mentor said once, and it really stuck with me. This was a few years ago. She said, don't sacrifice your health for your wealth.
Yeah. I love that expression.
And just gonna put it up as a PSA because um it's true. Like
Yeah.
in midlife, you know, we had a ton of energetic resources to our disposal in our 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
And now in the 40s, because we're spinning all these plates at the same time, it's like, you know, it's easy to dismiss your own needs, but once you start having a health problem,
Yeah. It
you
takes precedent,
cannot,
doesn't it? Yeah.
you cannot be on your game in growing your business.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things that I say to people. And I did not make it up, but that if you don't make time for your body will make time for itself. Meaning you're going to get knocked down with something nasty or an injury or something where your body's going to say, guess what? We're resting now. We're
Mm-hmm.
recovering now, and you don't get to do anything. So being proactive, making sure that you are taking care of yourself allows you to continue spinning all those plates and moving forward as fast as you want to go. But if you don't take care of yourself, you start to suffer. I just cut off a whole bunch of things that I was doing. I just said no to a whole bunch of things because I realized that I was overwhelming myself and I was starting to overfill my own plate, and it was taking a toll on me mentally. It was taking a toll on me physically. And I wasn't doing a great job at those things because I didn't have my full focus on it. I didn't have the energy to devote to it that I wanted to. So, yes, you can do everything, but maybe you shouldn't be doing everything, you know? So, yeah.
It's so true. And you know, I have not experienced, I was going to share, like last week was a rare week for me. It was really rare. And like I have not overcommitted myself like I did last week in years because of what it does. It
Yeah.
takes me forever to recover, forever.
Mhm.
But I did it because it's December and I'm trying to front load for the month. But it was like I was literally a walking zombie, and like
Yeah.
I didn't have energy for anything else.
Yeah.
And
That's
it
funny because that was the week that I did that to myself too. I was exactly, and I haven't done it in years either. And I was like, what am I doing? I know
yeah.
better than this.
And I knew it was because I overcommitted, but I also knew why, and I
Mhm.
knew it was short term. However, I didn't know it was going to take me 3 days to recover.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It takes you a lot longer to recover. It really does.
It
And that has to do with our bodies and age. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, making time for yourself, that 5 hours you can find easily in the mornings. You don't have to get up at 5 a.m. to find extra time, but you need to be intentional with your time. If you set yourself up the night before so that you're not scrambling to pack lunches and round up gear and whatever else you need for the day, and you can just take that 15 minutes in the morning for yourself, that over a week, that's a big chunk of time, right? That's almost 2 hours just right there. Or 10 or 15 minutes sitting in your car waiting for whatever. I mean, maybe it's not carpool. If you don't have kids, I'm sure you're sitting in your car waiting for something somewhere. And that's when you can, order your groceries online, make your meal plan for the week, catch up on emails that you've been waiting to return that weren't super urgent, but you need to get back to and start clearing out your inbox. Those are super productive things you can do. And again, if you spend 15 minutes a day sitting somewhere doing that kind of thing, there's another almost 2 hours just in that. That didn't require you to get up earlier. It didn't require you to, burn the midnight oil, and you can still get to bed at a reasonable hour. But you've now used that time.
Yeah, it's so true. And I love the examples that you shared, because we all have those pockets.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just asking yourself, am I using this as effectively as I could be?
And not only that, are you planning on it? You
Yeah.
know, I love to do lists, but I recognize they're never ending. So I don't let them overwhelm me, and I don't expect myself to get through the whole thing. But I have an ongoing list in my phone. I have it ranked by numbers, and I just put like a 1 or a 2 or a 3 on like how urgent the thing is. And so when I do have that 15-minute block, I pull up my list, I pick the number one thing that I can do while I'm sitting there, and I get it done. But I also have to plan ahead and go, okay, well, if I'm going to be potentially sitting and the things I need to do are on a computer, I should probably bring my laptop. Or if I bring my gym clothes with me, or I bring the clothes to change out of at the gym and I don't have to drive back and forth from home, there's another 20, 30 minutes minimum of time I can spend doing something else. So I can get dressed at the gym, run to a coffee shop, or sit in the parking lot and do a little bit of work and then head on to my next thing. But you
I
have to
love
plan
that.
it ahead of time.
Yeah. Love those examples. That's fantastic. And I'm excited because you have a micro audio summit
Yes.
that's launching on
Yes,
Wednesday.
dropping on Wednesday. Yes. So a micro audio summit, for those who don't know what that is, it is a podcast style summit. So everything is audio only. You can listen to it at your own pace. I love to say that my favorite pace is 1.5. Um, and you can actually upload it into your favorite podcast app. So you can just shuffle it in with those. And if you're not a podcast person, you can listen to it directly from the format where it's being distributed. But the cool thing is I have 6 speakers, including myself, and we're all offering our expertise around the world of self-care without sacrifice. So I have a life coach explaining how our brain works. I have an expert on body mapping, telling you how what your body is telling you. We have a relationship expert. We have a business coach who helps women in male dominated fields and in a male dominated world. And we also have, I'm blanking on the last one. Oh, all about productivity, exactly what we're talking about today. She's helps people be more productive. So yeah, lots of good experts, and it is free. So each speaker has given graciously a gift to all the listeners to help them implement their advice right away. And yeah, it's available right now for you to register, and then the summit drops on Wednesday.
Nice. And we're going to put a link in the comments or description around this video. So definitely look for that, sign up for that. You know, I love that it's audio because you can listen to it on the go wherever
Exactly.
your day takes you,
Well,
which
and
is
that's another
nice.
way to use your time wisely, right? Instead of just driving around mindlessly, put in something that's going to benefit you. Listen to a book or a podcast or something, or my
Absolutely.
micro audio summit.
Yeah, exactly. And it is geared, like she said, around self-care without sacrifice. And I think it's so key that the words without sacrifice.
Without sacrifice. Yes. Without sacrificing your sanity, without sacrificing your time with your spouse or your time with your kids. I know that's a lot of people think, well, I need to spend time with my family, and if I go to the gym, then I'm taking time. We can do it. We can make it all work, I promise.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. And if someone is curious about how to get in contact with you, what's the best way to reach out to you?
I'm on all of the socials at HD Transformations with an S on the end, or on my website, hdtransformations.com. And I have lots of free resources, I have more than 400 blog articles. So anything that you're curious about, I've probably written about it.
Nice. Love that. Thank you for being here with us, Heather.
Thank
It's been
you.
an absolute pleasure. I'm so excited for your audio summit this week and to hear from all the great guest experts that you've put together and have interviewed them. So that's super exciting. So thank you again for being here. And it's a pleasure having this conversation with you. And I just am excited. If you are watching this, please drop a comment below. Let us know you're here. Let us know what tip you're going to take away and implement so that you can begin to make yourself a priority in your day, in your week, so that you can be able to give from that place of overflow and give from that place without sacrifice. So thank you again for being here. It's been a pleasure. Take care. Bye.